the first, I don't think people get training in this stuff enough, that you read this article on 17 ways to tell when somebody's lying, or 12 indicators that he's cheating on you, like just absolute bullshit articles, which I've written a couple. I know. It's like I wrote a couple as I was starting out just because it gets clicks, but it gives people a little bit of a placebo of understanding. So at the end of the day, if you get good at detecting changes, then you are better than most people on YouTube that are talking about body language. If you're good at looking for changes and then being able to say, oh, I did this one thing, or this topic came up, or this thing happened, then I saw the blinking change and the breathing change and the body shifted, the voice changed. You just get good at looking for changes and then understand the meaning later. Like start looking it up later. Just become a change detective when it comes to people, and you will be so much better than if you had spent years studying all this body language stuff.
I will say that it seems like you do have a couple things that you've noted in the past that are reliable over and over again. Like on our last podcast, you talked about the things that you could tell just simply by looking at someone's face, like the soft, what are they called? The soft under eyes?
Yeah,
basically.
lower eyelid. Yeah.
Lower eyelids. If someone conceals their forehead, they're less trustworthy, that kind of thing. Is there anything else like that you've noticed? I remember Marcel telling a story. I don't know if it was about you or about someone else who had a similar skill set to you, about a girl he was dating that you could tell that she was bulimic or something. Yeah. Is there any other things that you look for that are reliable across the board?
I think there's very, very few. And even those little things about wrinkles on the face and all that, I would say those are anecdotes too. They're not hard, fast rules. You have to be doing this stuff for a while. The only way that I knew somebody was bulimic, it's not because she like talked a certain way or anything. She had one finger on her whole hand where the cuticles were worn down from like acid exposure, and you could see little teeth marks on her knuckle on that same finger. That's the only reason I knew that. But
how did you know to look for that?
I didn't. I just saw her hand, and I always look at people's hands, and I just look around at people. And then there's like a deductive reasoning that happens after that. And I wish there was a way to, maybe there is, but I wish there was a way to write a book about that where you could just like, oh, you see some shit on somebody's fingernails. Let me flip to the fingernail section and like find this thing. Maybe there will be someday, but I find it the most difficult thing to teach people because I think it's just rooted in experience. Like I've never written an article on how to look at bulimia in my lifetime, but I knew that was bulimia just by looking at it and using this. Maybe it's inductive. I don't know if it's inductive or deductive reasoning that just came naturally because I'm just so obsessed with human behavior as a whole and never judgmental. That's the biggest thing. It's like, if you're judging people, you're losing the game. It makes you less influential. It makes you less confident. It makes you less powerful in every situation. But you get to the point of like, I wanted to see behind the curtain. When I was like 19, I wanted to be a psychological voyeur. Like I wanted to see all the stuff I'm not supposed to see with other people. And that's what started me down this path to begin with. I wanted to see all the things that were hidden in plain sight. And one of the reasons like I became a body language guy was just trying to understand girls as a kid. And like, how do I avoid rejection? How do I know if I'm going to get rejected by somebody?